Hey guys, I wonder if you're watching me set up my mic. I mean my overhead cam shot right now, because literally as I was about to go live, um, I have a giant C stand right here, and I moved my little table that I have over here to just reposition it. I knocked into the C stand, and the whole thing just started to pitch that way, and I had to grab it, and then my mic fell over. So I think we're okay now. Um, yeah, that was an interesting way to begin the stream, but I think that I have fixed the audio delay issues that we were having last stream. So if I haven't, I can make some adjustments now. I figured out what was wrong. So just let me know if that's the case, if it sounds good. And I guess we'll just proceed from there. But I think that I fixed them. So hopefully we won't have any audio out of sync issues. And yeah, so we should be good to go. So we got some people coming in here, and we're going to do a really fun project today. We're going to build, I guess this is the world's fastest gaming PC right now. I mean, maybe the actually I have a fun story that I want to share with you guys about this launch, and about how I guess how AMD was sampling reviewers and stuff like that. But I will wait just a few minutes until a few more people come in here. Let's test out some camera angles, shall we? So we've got this, which is the overhead, right? Where I can, and hopefully just like show you guys products, or you could see like the build and what's going on. And then I have a side-by-side shot. So hopefully this is all working, and I'm watching the preview on stream right now to see if it did work. Looks like it worked. So yeah, this should give you a really good a really good angle on things, so that you could see like how I'm building, and we could talk about the parts. We'll go over that in a second, and you guys feel free to ask me like fire away questions. I know that depending on how many viewers come in here today to watch this, I don't know, probably won't be able to answer every question that comes through, but I will do my best to look at them. And as always, super chats will always be read on stream. So I just appreciate you guys coming in here and hanging out on a Thursday evening for me. I don't know if it's Thursday. It could be Thursday morning, Friday morning for you guys. I'm not sure. But Ozzy says, bro, a BPS, you're my hero. Well, I'm glad I am somebody's hero. Thank you very much, Ozzy. Yeah, it looks like people are coming in here. We got 41 in here now. So yeah, this is gonna be fun, because I haven't done a build on the channel in, I guess, a little while now, and there was certainly reason for that. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me while we were doing other things. While I was doing the RIP series, while we did the 3070 review, whatever else I might have done during that time. But like I mentioned a couple times, I guess, it's important to occasionally do things other than one particular thing that I've been doing builds on this channel now pretty regularly for a long time. And while it's fun, I enjoy it, I think you guys enjoy it, it can burn you out. It's a lot of repetition for me. And I like to be able to flex my creative muscles every once in a while, as well as do other things in the PC space. So, the whole RIP series was a really fun opportunity to do something completely different. And I learned quite a lot. And because, although I had done some extreme overclocking before, I had never taken it to that level until now. And I'm glad I did it. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I probably won't be doing any more of it. Probably. I'm not going to guarantee it. I'd actually like to revisit a few things, and to be honest, doing some sub-zero overclocking on the new AMD chips is pretty appealing. But that's not going to be the focus of our content moving forward. That never was the goal. It was just kind of to take a break, do something a little bit different, and now we're back to it, right? So now we're gonna start in and do the very first 5000 series Ryzen build on the channel for sure, and probably one of the first on YouTube. I'm sure that there have been others that have been done today, but the AMD only allowed us to show these chips starting this morning at 9 a.m. So Remix, Mike is not here. Actually, you know what? Mike's going to be here in about an hour. Let me mod you really quickly, if that's okay with you. There we go. Be kind with the band hammer. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, so let me tell you, we got 66 people watching right now. So let me tell you a quick story about the AMD sampling for this release. So I've had the Ryzen 9 5900X and the Ryzen 7 5800X for, I don't know, a week or two at this point. I did some pre-testing with the 5900X just to make sure that everything was good to go. That chip is a monster, and I was planning on doing this build with that chip. And I think that it would have been great. I think the result would have been awesome. But this morning, so AMD sent out their review samples in 2 waves. They didn't necessarily send everything out together. And I don't know how other reviewers got their chips, because I saw some people had 5950Xs already. But this morning, my doorbell rang and FedEx showed up with a box with a 5950X in it and a 5600X in it. So, and then I got an email like an hour later from AMD saying, oh, by the way, your other chips have shipped. So I didn't know exactly when they were coming. I knew they were coming at some point, but I didn't know when. And the fact that they showed up this morning made me completely change this video. Originally, as you guys may have seen when I put up the thumbnail initially, I was going to do this build with a 5900X. And when this showed up, I was like, well, I guess I got to do it with a 5950X at this point, because we're using an RTX 3090 and all these other high-end parts. It only makes sense. Let's just go like best of the best, fastest gaming PC in the world for, you know, November 2020. So why not use a 5950X? But hold on, let me switch to this. As you guys can see, I haven't even opened this yet. So to be honest, this chip could be a complete dud. I don't, you know, this potentially could not even work. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to pre-test it at all. So we're just gonna kind of fly by the seat of our pants at this point, and hope that everything is okay with our 5950X. I don't assume there'll be anything wrong, but I do like to make sure that give it a little pre-test and make sure that everything is good to go beforehand. And I did not have that opportunity because this just came this morning. So we will be doing a lot of other builds on the channel moving forward using not only the 5000 series Ryzen stuff, but also all the new RTX stuff, all the new Radeon graphics cards that are going to be releasing soon, which, unfortunately we can't really talk very much about right now. But those, I'm sure you guys probably all saw the presentations. They look great, to be honest. And if performance is anywhere near what AMD is claiming, then I think they're going to have another winner on their hands. So what we're doing here today is we're going to put this PC together, and then what I'm planning on doing, I saw a couple super chats come in. So Caleb Sivak says, hello there. Hello, Caleb. And then Dan Garwin just sent me a dancing chicken. So that's pretty awesome. Thank you, Dan. So anyway, so we're going to be putting this together, and then the plan is this weekend I'm going to be doing some testing on this system, including benchmarking it and overclocking it. So I'm going to try to put together a fairly basic is the wrong word, but a fairly accessible overclocking guide for Ryzen 5000 series. So hopefully, if all goes well here, we could just take this system as is and then roll with it and then do our overclocking on this. And I don't know. We'll see what happens after that. So that's the plan. We're going to build this today. Let's really quickly talk about our parts because I know that you guys are probably anxious to see this thing go together. I'm going to start with the case, which is probably the part that might not really fit your expectations for a build like this. This is from Fantex. This is the P360A. So it's basically their P360X, except it's got a mesh front panel. This is a pretty budget case. I don't know the MSRP offhand. I think it's like $80 or something. And for the parts that we're putting in it, this is, I hesitate to say weak link, but it's definitely the least expensive in comparison to what it could be versus everything else that we're using here. With that being said, Fantex has some really, really good low to mid-range cases. And I really like their design aesthetic. Their whole airflow approach now has been really excellent with the mesh front panel. The 3/4 side tempered glass window, I think, is a winner. I really like this design on not only Fantex cases, but NZXT's H510. I think that you don't need full glass if you just have a power supply shroud down below anyway. This saves on cost. It saves on weight. I mean, if you could get away with that, then why not do it and save a few dollars in the process? So, yeah. So P360A, we're going to be building in this. We're also going to be using some Fantex fans. This does come with a couple of 120 millimeter adjustable RGB fans in the front. We have more Fantex fans here. We have 140s and 120s. So we're going to populate this case with Fantex fans to go along with their RGB control scheme that they have built into the case. Okay, we've got a couple more super chats. One more from Caleb. You're supposed to respond with General Kenobi. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Dave Leviathan Prim says, hello, Brian. I was able to get a 5900X at Best Buy today. Got a 3080 arriving tomorrow. Should be fun with Blender and Cinema 4D. 4D. Apparently, I'm Southern now. That's awesome. That's going to be a killer system. Kristen Langer says, willing to do a max power load reading with your current config if you have a way to read it. Keep up good work. Hoping to snatch a 3900X. So power is going to be a part of the video we do Sunday. So I'm going to be monitoring power consumption for this build at stock and at overclock. So yes, if you want to see power stuff, make sure you tune in on Sunday. Today we're just going to be basically doing the build and hopefully powering it up. All right, so moving on. Fantex case, Fantex fans. Storage is just a Samsung 970 EVO Plus. The only reason I'm using this is because it has a Windows install on it already, and it's going to be really quick and easy to power up system, make sure that everything works, and maybe run a quick test. I think for our benchmarking video, I might go with something else, like a fresh Windows install, but for the purposes today, just using this. I guess we're working away from least exciting to most exciting, right? So why don't we go with power supply? This is from Inwin. This is their... Hold on, let's see if I can move some stuff. So this is their CB1250. This is a 1250 watt power supply. This is overkill for what we're doing today, but to be honest, considering the power consumption of our graphics card, I would definitely rather have it be overkill than to be borderline. And I mean, I don't know, 1250 is a lot. So it's very rare that you actually need 1250 watts. But this is a good power supply, fully modular, 80 plus platinum rated. Yeah, so I've used it before. It's a good unit for sure. The cooler we're using on our 5950X is new. It's from Be Quiet. It's their Pure Loop 280. I haven't even taken this out of the box yet, so everything is still sealed. But I have seen some information on it, read some reviews, and everything coming in from basically everywhere says that it's an absurdly good AIO. So I am definitely looking forward to using that, and I think it's going to be a really good pairing with the 5950. Motherboard. This is from Asus. This is the Corsair 8 Hero. This is not the Wi-Fi version, and it's not the dark version. They're coming out with a dark Hero, which I will be getting in office, and I will be doing some testing on, which I'm pretty excited about. But for the most part, very similar to their Corsair 8 Hero. This is a very high-end X570 board. I've already updated the BIOS on here to work with the 5000 series Ryzen chips. So yeah, should be really good. I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with it by now because it's been out since basically the 3000 series launched. So really good board from Asus. And then the GPU, this is an RTX 3090 Founders Edition card. I haven't yet used one of these in basically anything. All the XOC stuff that I was doing was with partner model cards. So for the Win 3 cards, MSI's Gaming X Trio. I haven't really, I took this out and I tested it. It works, but I haven't done anything else with it at all. This card is beautiful. Like I know it's hard to, I guess, convey, but in person when you like hold it, it feels like a solid chunk of metal in your hand. It's very impressive. The build quality is off the charts, especially excuse me, especially for a card coming from NVIDIA. That's not a partner model design. And I see a question: will it fit? And yes, yeah, is the answer. So according to specs, the specs of the case, it fits a 400 millimeter long GPU. This is 300 and something, 330. We should be fine. I also did a really quick test fit without the radiator in place, and it fit also. So I think it'll fit, but I guess, fingers crossed. But yes, it is enormous, and it is very impressive. Any custom PSU cables? No, not today. I don't think we're going to go with any today. And the reason I hesitate to do it is because the RTX 3090 FE requires that stupid dongle extension, which is going to look terrible no matter what. So until we get a replacement for that, which I am working on, we're going to just go with our regular basic black cables. And then memory is a 4x8 kit of G-Skills. I showed this to you before, I guess. G-Skills Trident Z Neo. This is DDR4 3600 CL16. So this is the perfect memory basically for your new Ryzen setup, and should be able to clock it up to 3600 pretty easily. All right, so I think that is it. Like I said, fire away any questions that you might have, and I will do my best to answer them. Let me see if there's anything pressing right now, and then we'll get to building. Paco says, let's run Cinebench. Okay, maybe we'll run Cinebench when it's done. Calvin G finally caught a live stream, kind of excited. Well, I am excited to have you here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Augusto G, how much that cost? Well, right now it probably costs way more than it should. But I mean, if you could quickly run down some pricing, right? So like $80, 360, 370. This is supposed to be 1500. This memory is probably about 240. This is 800, 750. The Pure Loop, I actually don't know. I think this is like 120 bucks. The SSD doesn't matter. It's like 100 bucks, 120 bucks. Power supply is probably 300 or so. And then the fans are whatever, 20, 30 bucks. These aren't expensive fans. So yeah, not a cheap build. Yeah, that's about how much it cost. Last Right says 5950X went out of stock in 2 seconds. Yeah, most of the AMD stuff flew right off the shelves. All right. So in the future, can we expect a custom cable for those? I assume you mean reference GPUs, the FE cards. Yes, so Cable Mod is currently working on them. NSource, the company that I work with a lot, is currently working on them. They'll be available. The thing is, I'm pretty sure as we move along in the timeline, you're going to see less and less of these FE cards available. I think that partner model cards are going to be the thing that you're going to be able to buy most easily, especially because NVIDIA is not selling these anymore through their own store. So I think if you could get your hands on one of these, you probably want to do it sooner than later. That's just speculation, but that's kind of the way I'm thinking things are going to go down. Excuse me. All right, so why don't we get this fired up here? I see a question. Can anyone in the chat please answer me if I can use a brand new X570 board with a 5000 series CPU without updating the BIOS? So right now, if you just bought one, it's unlikely. I know that moving forward, a lot of the boards that are going to be shipping out from here on will have their BIOS updated, but it really depends on like manufacture date. Hold on, let me see if I can. Let me know if you guys think that this is a better angle for now, because I'll just keep it like this. If so, that way it'll be easier for you guys to watch. Let's see, like that. So yeah, so any boards that are being manufactured like from here forward will or should have their BIOS already updated, whereas stuff that has already been produced will need a BIOS update. And a lot of the higher end boards come with BIOS flashback, so you don't need a chip. So that is definitely a benefit of buying a higher end board. Okay, so it seems like top down for the build is better. Good. So I think that maybe I want to turn the. Let me turn the. Hold on, this camera's gonna bump for a second. There we go. So, okay, so is that better? Think that's better? Ozzy asks, lights? Yeah, there's plenty of lights, but unfortunately they are just in front of me. But I think that this is, we want it to be tighter. Yeah, we get a little tighter. Let's see how that looks. There we go. That should be good. All right. There we go. So yes, I think this is good. I think this will work. So let's why don't we do like a peel? It's there's no sound associated with these peels. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, there's one. Oh, I messed it up. Here. Maybe that'll make up for it. All right. Yeah, so let's, why don't I... Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And we do all our peels first. That's pretty good. It seems to be like really wedged in here though. There we go. And there should be one more. Yeah. Aha. All right. So I think we are fully peeled at this point. Okay. Okay, so here's our chip. Let's get it out of here. So, you know, this is kind of weird. I don't know why AMD did this. They have this giant box, and it's full of folded cardboard. Like, I understand that they have this box for coolers, but why not save the earth and just like make a little box that fits around this clamshell? Like, wouldn't that just make more sense? Like, they would save money in packaging and it would be better for the planet, right? All right, here she is. Why don't we take a look at that? Yeah. This should have been the thumbnail. This is cool looking. I like this. Okay, Ronnie Casson, $5. Question about the AMD system access memory that works between the CPU and the GPU. So with that said, do you think that would work with a B450 board? No, they've explicitly said you need an X570 board to use that. Come on. There we go. Looking forward to the build. PC Philanthropy says, looking forward to the build. Finished the Vets case today. Came out insane. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so that is... It used to be Alien Boneyard on Twitter. I don't know if that's still your handle or not. But yeah, no, your builds are sick. And you work with some of those cool Alienware cases, so that's pretty neat. I'm going to move this off to the side just a little bit because I want to open up our, actually, you know what? Why don't I do this first? Why don't we do this first? So, what else is going on, guys? Should be one. There should be an M.2 under here. Aha. Aha. Almost fooled me. You almost got me, Asus. You almost got me. And we gotta make sure we get this off of here too. Not quite as satisfying. So this is something that maybe you guys have seen me do in other builds, or maybe not. I'm not sure. Sometimes when I'm doing a build, especially if it's temporary, well, I guess in this case it doesn't matter, but sometimes I don't actually screw down this this end of the NVMe drive if it has a heatsink that goes over it and screws down, because it's kind of redundant and it's going to be coming out soon anyway. But in this case, this end of the NVMe, this end of the shroud actually is the screw that holds this in place. So if you guys ever see me do anything like that, that's the reason. It's not because well, maybe it is a little bit because I'm lazy, but it has more to do with the fact that it is being held down and in place anyway. So it's not really a problem, especially for temporary builds. If I was doing a build like this for, you know, with any kind of permanence, then for sure everything would be screwed together. Zachary Murphy, I personally think the G-Skill Trident Z Royal Gold looks good. So do I. I actually really like that memory. The problem with the gold is that it doesn't really go with a whole lot. Like, it works really well in gold-themed builds. But other than that, I mean, unless you're, like, going for maximum RGB-ness, it has color matchy issues. So I tend to shy away from using the gold, although I really do like it. If I'm going to use the Royal, I usually use the silver because it matches, I mean, basically everything. So I don't know why I opened both ends of that. That was dumb. All right. So let's see what comes in this box. Be quiet. So we've got the two fans. We're actually not going to use these fans, and that's only because I have these fans and they will hook into the RGB control of our case. I would venture to say if you're going for maximum performance, use these fans, not these fans. But I think for our purposes today, this is just going to be a more pleasant aesthetic, so we're going to use these instead. Be Quiet serious with their packaging, huh? There it is, pure loop. And, you know, I've seen other companies try the inline pump method like this, and this is the best implementation that I've seen. Enermax did something similar-ish, but the pump was just attached to one tube and it kind of like flopped around and it made it really ugly. This looks like it is pretty seamlessly integrated into this whole system here, and it's almost, it's not really noticeable, you know, like this, it's towards the end, it's close to the radiator. This is, you're not really going to see it all that much, and it doesn't stick out. Like, it doesn't look abnormal. So I do like this implementation versus a lot of other ones that I've seen. And this gets around the Asetek patent issue where you're not allowed to have the pump on top of your cold plate, which is just ridiculous. But whatever, they've locked that down in the United States. So Be Quiet actually made, this is not their first AIO. They have another AIO. I think it is the Silent Loop that I used. Hold on, let's do this for a second. They have a Silent Loop also that I used in some AIO comparison testing, and it was really, really good. But they couldn't sell it in the United States. Hold on. Nah, it's not a good one. They couldn't sell it in the United States because of Asetek patent issues. So that's unfortunate. But it was a really good unit. And then hopefully this one performs, I don't know, pretty similarly, I guess. All right. So now I know I'm going to get yelled at for this, but I'm going to have to mount this to the front of the case. I got yelled at so much after Gamers Nexus released that video about AIO orientation, and I get it, but I talked to Steve about this, and he actually was like apologetic when we were talking. He's like, I never meant that video to do what it did, as far as people going after YouTubers for the way they build their systems, because these are temporary builds, And a lot of the problems that they were observing and trying to help people avoid were from long-term use. And having this mounted at the front of the case with the tubes are going to be above the mount. So it's going to be like this or something similar. It's not going to cause any issues in performance. It just might be a little bit louder, which is fine for our purposes. So the only way that this fits in this case, this 280 fits in this case, is to put it up front. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So if we're going to put it up front, we're going to have it like, here, let's go back to that. So if we're going to put it up front and we're going to have it like this, you know, like this, I guess. Let's mount our fans to the rad. This is I don't know, I've done one other PC build on stream, and I think it took me like, I don't know, 3 hours or something. I'm hoping this doesn't take that long, but it is a lot more time consuming to, I don't know, you expend mental energy also, you know, talking to you guys and explaining things and answering questions versus just going ham on the build itself. Because a build like this shouldn't really take all that long. But, you know, we do it for you guys, right? Pump topside equals risky. It's not risky. So people really had the wrong idea about what that video was trying to say. It's not risky. It's not going to damage anything. It's going to be fine. I promise. Omega Ugo, should I upgrade from a 2600X? I don't know. What are you doing with your system? I get a lot of questions like that are virtually impossible for me to answer. I would love to answer more questions, but sometimes I just like stuff like that. It is I don't know. It's kind of weird to me because I really want to be helpful, but at the same time, like, people have to understand that I'm not living in your body. I don't know exactly what you're thinking. Or what you're doing. So help me help you. How about that? What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to mount the fans to this side so that they show through the front of the mesh. Yeah, let's try that. I feel like I'm wrecking this over here. There we go. All right. Yeah, and again, I apologize for the haphazard way I'm doing things today. Usually I'm much more organized, but just trying to put on a show. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna mount them like that. Mount them like that. Wow, Be Quiet gives you, oh geez. Be Quiet gives you an entire bottle of coolant to use to top off your radiator. That's pretty neat, because I assume that they probably figure that their AIOs are good enough to last several years, and as a result, they want you to be able to keep your loop full. So good for you, Be Quiet. I've seen some other companies do that. They're not the first ones. But it is really nice that they do that for you. Are you going to blow the hot air from the rad inside the case? That is the point. Yes, absolutely I am. I'm also blowing cold air from the outside through the radiator in order to cool the coolant inside of the radiator. So you could look at it either way, I suppose. How much is the Pure Loop? The Pure Loop isn't actually all that expensive at all. I know that I think there was a sale on the 360s that was pretty cheap. I don't remember the exact price. I think it was like maybe 140 bucks. So this one is probably pretty close to that. Kevin Holmes. Hi, Brian. Hi, Kevin. Or am I supposed to say hello, Obi-Wan Kenobi or something? How long has he been streaming? I started streaming at 7 o'clock. So for, wow, 40 minutes already, huh? That's neat. Bilal, I'm a beginner to this. Can anyone recommend parts? Budget 1,500 to 2,000. So one of the things that I do on this channel is I do a lot of builds at different price budgets. And you know what? This isn't going to work. What am I doing? I have to do this through the case. I'm an idiot. All right. So if you watch this channel, you'll see that I will do videos that say this is a good system for $1,000 or for $1,500. The problem is that right now, with the huge amount, so we're just going to leave this off. We're going to mount, why don't we mount the AIO first, and then we'll worry about this later. The problem right now is that there are so many new parts that are being released that all of my older videos, even from just a couple of months ago at this point, are almost invalid. So, you know, you could go and watch some of my older videos. We got to read the instructions for mounting on this one. You can watch some of my older videos, but unfortunately, it's not really going to show you very much. Is this AM4? Yeah, AM4. Oh, so I guess we're using the stock AMD backplate, which is really nice. I like that. I like that a lot. So anyway, like I was saying, so I will be once again probably going through the different price targets starting pretty soon, and putting together reasonable systems that are going to be good for people at those budgets. And you know, it's just unfortunate that a lot of the work that I've done up until now is not really relevant, just because of all the new stuff. So this looks about right. All right. Yeah, that feels nice and solid. Let me move this over a little bit. Will an 850 watt PSU be enough for my 5800X and 3080? It certainly should be. Although I would never say, so yeah, it should be fine. That should be plenty. I'm dropping stuff. I would always recommend, though, at this point, considering the trend in power consumption of new components, that if you can go bigger, and it's not going to hurt you in the long run, because power supplies are literally the component in your system that you could use for the longest amount of time. Most of them, or most decent ones, come with a 10-year warranty, and they'll probably even last you longer than that. So as long as connection standards don't change, then you should be fine for a long, long time if you can kind of level up your power supply purchase and then just use that forever. I think this is right. This looks right to me. Does that make contact? Ooh, look at that. Sexy. That was really, really easy. That was like Good job, Be Quiet. That was unexpectedly easy and very functional. All right, let's get this on there. It's like, all right. I take back my good job, Be Quiet, because this is the worst. This is like the absolute smallest amount of thermal paste you could have provided me in a tube. This is just ridiculous. It's empty. Focus. Focus on my hand. Come on, camera. There we go. Look at that. Empty. I just used all of it on the processor. All right. Be quiet. You've won one and you lost one so far. The next one will be the decider if I recommend this or not. Don't fuck it up. I mean, don't mess it up. You guys didn't hear me say that. Don't tell YouTube. Wow, that's pretty sexy looking. I'm gonna be honest. What do you guys think of the way that looks? With like the silver accents here, and then where's our memory? Oh, duh, it's right here. Yeah. So like with the silver accents of the memory, and then the silver accent here, and the silver accents here. This looks pretty sick. I think my camera's tilted because this is straight right now, but that's okay. Yeah, this looks really good. I am happy with that. Good. So let's spin this around a little bit. So what I like to do with these, honestly, is I usually like to try to find a way to tuck them either underneath some kind of mounting bracket or underneath a shroud or something, because these wires tend to be way, way, way too long. And there's unfortunately not a whole lot you can do with them. Occasionally what I'll do is I'll take them and I'll route them like through here, and I'll route them out like a hole in the case, like a grommet or something, and then I'll put them back in through that same grommet. So it, like the excess cabling like this will just kind of stick out the back and down below. You know, I mean, it's up to you how you want to handle it, but yeah, I just want to make these as neat as possible. So, no, I don't really like that. Why don't I do this? Why don't I route it through here? If I can. It's dropping our memory on the floor. Good. 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 See, like way less slack this way. Yeah, that's better. And then we could just kind of tuck this up there or something. Oh, AO pump. Boom. Excellent. All right, that works. I see you watch Linus Tech Tips. Do I? I mean, I do. I think we all kind of do. Linus is like the godfather of this space, even though I am older than him. He's been doing this aspect of it for a lot longer than I have. I'll tell you that. I don't know what I just did that reminded you that I watched Linus, but thanks, I guess. There we go. So, what do we think of this so far? I think this is pretty freaking sexy. Sorry. All right, so that's mounted. Memory is in. M.2 is in. Why don't I put away these things that I'm definitely going to lose. Oh, the drop part. Yep, yep. Well, you know, you do this enough, you're going to drop some stuff. That's just kind of the way life is. And this is what I always do with these things, is I will, when I take them off, they always go back in the motherboard box with the screws so that I know where they're at. And I kind of, well, I guess I'll leave this on the table for now. Okay. All right, so what can we get rid of? We can get rid of all right, so we can get rid of this. That, no. Keep all your little baggies. I found uses for all these little bags. Like, all your screws eventually will need to go back somewhere. Keep all the little bags if you can. Except for the ones that you have to tear open. These you don't, I mean, I don't know what purpose they would serve if you kept them. And I hate these stupid ones that don't have a zip lock. All right, so get rid of this. I can move this over. Super chat from Matthew Clemens. Building my first PC, decided to go all in liquid cool. Would you recommend Barrow blocks? If not, what brand? That is a ballsy decision for your first system, but I mean, I applaud you for taking the risk, and I hope it comes out good. Hope it comes out well. I would recommend watching my series on water cooling for beginners to plug my own stuff. But I put a lot of care and thought into presenting that in a way that would be helpful for people just getting into this space. So if you're new to it, if you're new to water cooling, I would definitely watch that. As far as recommending blocks, Barrow blocks are fine. Barrow generally has, I think Barrow uses the same OEM as Bits Power. Most of their stuff is basically identical to Bits Power stuff. I know that Barrow makes a lot of blocks and distros that Bits Power doesn't, but to be honest, like, I think that it's all coming from the same manufacturer. It's decent quality stuff for sure. And I've never had a problem with any of their fittings either. So if you want to go for their blocks, go for their blocks. I don't think that you'll have a problem with them. Okay, so why don't I swap this? Move this over to the side here. And let's try to keep this. Why don't I do one of these jobs for now? How about that? I'll try to prep the. Oh, another tip. I don't know if you guys do this or not. I build a lot of systems, and all this plastic, this on the glass, keep it on there. Don't take it off. Only take it off like when your system is done. Like you're ready to put it on your desk and it's done. Otherwise, you'll get fingerprints all over it, and it helps. You know, obviously it's going to help protect the glass, and it's just better to leave it on for sure. All right, got our panels. Got our front panel. This just pulls off. Nice. Nice. Okay, that was easy. Look at that. Look at that top down. So drive sleds on this case load from the front, as Fantex has done with a couple other cases as well. I'm going to put this back in here for now. Crooked, apparently. That's better. But I'm going to take this out. This is the first thing we're going to do, is I'm going to take this out because we're going to need the room for our power supply and I think for our radiator as well. So let's get rid of this drive cage. So how are you guys doing tonight? How many of you are not from the United States? I'm curious because I know what like the percentages are for my my videos that I upload, but I don't know how many people from outside the United States would be interested in something like this, like a live stream. So let me know. Are there more screws here? This isn't coming out. You know, sometimes I just assume that I know stuff, and I don't. So I'm sure my wife would attest to that. There we go. I found it. I found it. Come on, man. Get out of there. Oh, you know what? I guess I won't need to remove it for I won't need to remove it for the purposes of the front radiator, but our power supply is pretty big, and we're gonna have some cables to manage. So the more room we have to do that, the better. Why would we outside the US not be interested in live streams? Oh, I didn't say you wouldn't be interested. I'm just curious to see if how much my audience, because time zones. I mean, time zones are a thing, right? So like it's 7 p.m. here, which is prime YouTube viewing time, but like in Europe, it's whatever, 2 a.m., you know? So wasn't trying to insult anybody. Ontario, Canada, Algeria, Belgium, Wales, Mexico, Las Vegas. What's up, Elgin? I am in Las Vegas way more than I should be. Oops, sorry. Mexico, Puerto Rico. I'm in Maryland. I know, Remix, you're in Maryland. Recently moved from Colorado. All right. Venezuela, UK, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. here. Man, you guys are awesome. See, this is what I mean. This is why I was interested, because, I don't know, anybody watching from outside the United States is making a serious commitment, and I appreciate you guys. All right. So are these the same fans as these? I don't know. These are Fantex fans. That's literally all it says. Are they the same? Are you the same? Malaysia. Chile. New Zealand. Jeez. All right, let's see. Are these the same fans? Are you the same? Yep, these are the same fans. Okay, so I could reuse 2 of these, and I will only need 1 of these. Good. All right. I'm hoping that I could control them all. Daisy chained or whatever. We'll figure that out. We will figure that out. Somebody else from Maryland, not Charles. Not Charles YouTube, from Maryland. What's up, Maryland? I appreciate everybody from Maryland in here. And everybody else can go to hell. No, I'm just kidding. All right, this is kind of, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Hold on. There we go. So I'm just trying to separate out like the fan cables from everything else. Oh, are these really like, they really zip tie these? Come on, guys. Killing me with this. Alright, I guess we gotta cut a zip tie. We will have to re-zip tie this at some point. Come on. Mike the Manic Geek has appeared and apparently is trying to get me to demod him. So everybody give him some shit in the comments. All right, we got one out, finally. What a mess. One of them out. This one should be much easier. Good. All right. Two of them out. Excellent. Okay. Let's go back to this. Ozzy, I see your comment, and I know that it got blocked, but I'm okay. It got unblocked. Yeah, there you go. That one's for you, Mike. I hope that everybody is doing this in good fun. I trust that they are. So I'm going to take these fans, these two basic Fantex fans, which is, these are the same ones that came in the 3-pack that they sent me also. So we're just going to take these and mount them to the top. And then I'm going to take a third one and mount it to the back. So I'm going to have these 3 as exhaust. What is the best way to do this? See, I don't ever build like this. Hold on. So it's really hard for me to do this while trying to present like the top down to you guys. Just see, it's just very unnatural for the way I normally do things. But make the sacrifices. All right. Now I'm only going to mount these with 2 screws. And that's also something that you may or may not have seen me do, like in some of my build videos, is that I sometimes will only mount fans with 2 screws. I do not recommend that you do this at home. So just do as I say, not as I do. The reason that I do that is because like I said, these systems come apart basically immediately, and just doing more than 2 is pointless. I mean, it's still going to hold just fine, and just less for me to take apart. All right, so we got our first one in mostly. Put our second one in. So what do you guys think of this system? Did I make good choices or not? Is this a system that you guys would want to own? Or do you think that some different decisions should have been made? As far as parts goes. And the one thing that I'm questioning is the case decision, but so far it seems to be fine, and I hope that it works out. Don't forget to screw with confidence. That's what I have this for. This screwdriver is amazing. This is the Be Quiet screwdriver that came with the, the Dark Rock Pro 4, I guess. And I've used this thing for, I guess, for years now, and it is awesome. It's got a really nice grip, super strong magnet on the tip, and the length is, you know, well, you always want nice length. So, really good screwdriver. And it is, honestly, I've used this so much more than I've ever used the cooler that it came with, which was also excellent. All right, we got one more fan to do, and that is this one. Okay. Looks good, but no LED would be more dope. You know, I'm sure I've talked about this before. I like the whole rainbow effect thing. I think it looks good inside PCs, especially in white cases. I understand that people's preference might not be to always see that, but the good thing about RGB is you can make it look like whatever you want, including turning the lights off. So if you ever have a choice, it would seem that it would be prudent to get RGB and then just not use it, or change it to a single color or whatever, you know? Okay, rocking and rolling. I'm gonna get this third fan in here. I'll be back after getting my kids ready for bed. Oh, no problem, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Remix. Okay. Yeah, RGB doesn't have to be rainbow puke, luckily. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. It could just be one color. I mean, make it whatever color you like. But the one thing that I do not like is when other people like shit on you for liking whatever you like. So whether that's rainbow or no RGB or whatever, like, why is that your business? Why do you care? Like, why do you care the way somebody else likes their system to look? That doesn't make any sense to me. Let people do what they want. All right, so let's go overhead. So, all right, so what we have to do now is the motherboard's got to go in, but something very important to consider when you're building in a case that's this small and doesn't have a whole lot of room, especially up top here, is that you want to route your EPS cables, and honestly as many cables as you possibly can, first. So if you have a modular power supply, connect your EPS cable to your motherboard, and then as you're dropping in the board, route the EPS cable back down and through here. Because once the board is down, it's a bitch to get your hand back in here and plug in the EPS cable, which is going to be like up in this corner somewhere. So what we're going to need to do is get our power supply unpacked. So let's do that. Let's drop this down for a second, and we'll do that. Hey guys, let's take a break. Hold on, let's take a minute. So, like I said, I know that this is going a little bit slower than your normal PC build might, but, you know. What are your thoughts on how the new consoles are going to impact how much ray tracing is adopted by game studios? I think that that's a direction they were going anyway. I think regardless of, like, all the crap that NVIDIA caught for really, I don't know, pumping up ray tracing and RTX as a thing, because like as kind of like a gimmick. It's not really a gimmick. I think that that is something that's not only here to stay, but also pretty important. I don't think that the consoles are really going to change the trajectory of things. They might, I don't know, maybe things get sped up, but honestly, I think that that was going to happen anyway. Check this out. This is a cool looking power supply. There we go. I don't know why this doesn't focus quicker. These Sony cameras are so good at autofocus. There we go, at autofocus, but sometimes they're very stubborn. But doesn't that look sick? It's a cool power supply. I've been into power supplies recently. I don't know why. The new Dark Power Pro 12 is just, that thing is so nice looking. Matthew Lang. Got some of that nugget money for you since you are sharing nuggets of info. Well, thank you, Matthew. Also, did you know you can refill that AO by taking off the faceplate? Yeah, I knew that. That they give you a bottle of coolant, and it's things down there. Yeah, they give you a whole bottle of coolant with it, so that's really cool. That's one of the things, honestly, that when Be Quiet is sending you a product, they make sure you're aware of, because they want you to be able to talk about that to your audience when you're, I don't know, selling it. You know, you're not selling it, but you know what I mean. Manic Geek, power supply looks too good to be hidden by a shroud. Well, too bad. All right, what do we need here? All right, sorry, I was just reading some comments. Why didn't you wait till the 69 XT coax out bit beat the 3090? I'm gonna assume you mean why didn't I wait till the 6900 XT comes out because it beats the 3090. Prove it. It's not out yet. What do you want me to do? Like we're just gonna purely take AMD's word for it that it's faster. Like I will test it when it comes out, but to make that assumption is pretty stupid. Like I don't know. This is one of the things that I don't get about people who fanboy for anything. Why make that assumption that might make you make a purchase that is inferior to a different purchase you could have made, just because you're making these kinds of assumptions about the product that you like? It's not a stupid question to ask once everything is out and all the reviews are out, and perhaps the 6900 XT is a better card at cheaper. But right now we don't know, and it's not available. So if I'm building the fastest gaming PC right now, I don't have the option to build with a 6900 XT. Those kinds of questions bother me. I don't know if you guys could tell. Dave Leviathan said the PSU looks a bit long for the case. Does the hard drive cage move? Yes, it does. We're going to take that out. I was in the middle of that and I stopped. I don't know. I will. Yes, the hard drive cage will come out. What 27-inch 1440p 144 Hz monitors do you like? I don't do a whole lot of 1440p gaming, but I have over there an AOC monitor, which I don't know the model number of offhand, but it is really, really good. It's 144 hertz, 27 inches. I think it's IPS, and it wasn't that expensive either. And I used that in my overclocking video for the 10900K, where I did a whole bunch of testing. I think it was the 10900K. Did a whole bunch of game testing using like high refresh rate displays, and that was a lot of fun. Which processor are you using? The 5950X. I don't know if that was a Gamers Nexus reference or not. If so, well played. Well played. What am I doing? I'm dumb. So we got a SATA, 24 pin, 2 EPS, 2 PCIe. I think that should be it. Could always do more, I guess. But the point of this whole exercise was to plug in this first. Is there any giveaways? Are you doing one? Because if not, then there's no giveaways. can you show the cables a bit? They're mostly flat. Yeah, they're very flat. The only thing that's not flat is the 24 pin. So these are the EPS cables. The PCIe cables look exactly the same. The 24 pin is kind of beefy, but it comes out looking like that. So for our purposes, this will be just fine. But yes, otherwise these are flat and pretty flexible, so it should be easy to route. Hey Mike, can you ban Ben Heredia? All right. So now, oh, there's one more peel thing here. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, sorry for that. It's always nice to inject a little meanness into our streams for no particular reason. Colin Myers, have any crazy or funny stories to tell about your time on YouTube, like offers from people or companies? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I could do that. So, having a YouTube channel, especially like a moderately successful one, leads to all kinds of crazy emails and crazy offers from people, and mostly is just a scam. Like most times, what people are trying to do is, hold on, I'm gonna overhead this. Most of the time, and you may have seen like Adam Epos Fox has done a video on this. There is a guy he's not the only one, but his name is Marios something, and his whole thing is that he sends emails to YouTubers saying that he wants to buy their channel, and in return he's supposed to give you PayPal. But the scam is that instead of sending you PayPal, what he does is he sends you an invoice for his offer is usually somewhere in the range of $50,000 to $80,000. And he sends you an invoice for whatever amount you agree on. Because I did this, like I went through it to see if like I could like scam him. And what I was really trying to get him to do was send me crypto, but he wouldn't do that. So the scam is he sends you an invoice for that amount, and then he marks the invoice as paid. So it looks like what he has done is paid you $80,000 or whatever the agreed amount is. Whereas what he's actually done, here's our drive cage. But what he has actually done is literally nothing. So then the scam is that because it sort of looks like he has paid you money, he then says, okay, I'd like control of your channel now. And then once you give that to him, then you'll never get it back. So that is one of them. That happens, honestly, like I get those emails, I would say frequently, and they're really annoying. I've started to try to fight them by just being as rude as possible. And hopefully they don't email me twice, but unfortunately there are people behind those emails because I have had like conversations with people. But unfortunately, this is really difficult to do while trying to maintain this camera angle. But anyway, no matter how many times you, I don't know, make fun of them or reject their offer or any of that stuff, they keep they'll keep coming back. Like, it's just such a, it's such a factory of, it's such like a scam factory, you know, that they don't care that they look like fools, because just say that if they get like 1 or 2 decent sized channels to fall for it, which I'm sure they have, otherwise this wouldn't continue to be a thing, then it's worth it, because all they're doing is just spamming emails, you know. But yeah, what I was really trying to do, one time I spent way too much time trying to convince this guy to send me crypto, and I even went, like, the price that we had agreed on was $80,000 for the channel, and he, you know, he's like PayPal only, and I'm like, I'm sorry, my PayPal's broken, and I tried to kind of convince him that I needed the money so badly that I would take like $1,000 in crypto, and I mean, obviously he didn't go for it. So I don't know. These guys are probably not the brightest, but I don't think they're stupid. Like, they're running a scam that probably gets some people. Sorry, you guys can't really see this. Here, hold on, let me do this. Like I said, working at this angle is really tough. Okay, I think that's good. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Why don't we do one of those? Haven't done one of those in a while. You're crushing the radiator? I think the radiator is fine. Is it fine? It's fine. I don't know why uninteresting people would buy big channels. What do they expect? So the goal is audience, right? So they're not like, a lot of times what they'll do is they will turn that. So there's been channels that have been hacked, and let me tell you that hacked means that they fell for a scam. So there's plenty of people out there that have had their YouTube channels hacked, and what happens is those channels turn into advertisements for other scams. So basically, it's pumping. This isn't something wrong here. It's not necessarily that they want the channel to, in order to produce content or to continue to produce content. It's that they want it to do other things, and they want the built-in audience that's automatically going to see the uploads for whatever scam they're going to propagate next. So what is happening here? This isn't seated right. Come on. Something under there? This feels weird. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. So, okay. Just put the fans on the ugly side. No. Why would I do that? We're going to make this thing pretty. Attention is a very real, valuable currency today. You know, unfortunately, that is true. And I've seen that more and more. I used to get a lot of emails that were just like, give me a PC. And now all of a sudden it's become a thing like, how many likes on TikTok for a free PC? What the hell do I care how many likes on TikTok you get? It's not going to affect me at all. That is not currency to me. Like, I do not care about likes on TikTok. And the companies that perpetuate that, I don't approve of. At first, it's funny, right? The first couple times something like that happened, it's funny, and it's notable, and it's entertaining. But the more and more it happens, the more people think that it's, the more it gets normalized. And then the more people think that that's actually the way you do things and the way you pay for items and the way the world works. And it does not. So when people say that kind of stuff to me, it's very frustrating. All right, we're in. We are in. All right, so let's get this thing rocking and rolling. Okay. How well does this fit? It fits really well. Look at that. Yeah, see? It fits very nice and snugly. Pure loop. So we're going to slide the fans right down in there. All right, let's do this. So, yeah, this keeps looking better and better. Yeah, I really do like the way this is going to come out. For sure. For sure. Let's get these fans in here first. I know, all you're going to see is my head. Sorry about that. I'm going to try to keep my head out of the way. What a weird thing to say. So did any of you guys try to get Ryzen 5000 series CPUs? And if you did, were you successful? I know a lot of people, so the reality is hardware is hard. New hardware is popular and it's hard to get sometimes, especially at launch. And this isn't a new phenomenon. I know that like a lot of people are pretty frustrated recently, but like this has been going on for a long time. So I think that people that are maybe new to this or really have their hearts set on an Ampere graphics card or something might be really frustrated right now, but it's not a new thing. People want new hardware, and especially good new hardware. It's going to be hard to get your hands on it for a little while. And that's just kind of a reality of the way things are. So I feel for you guys if you want something and can't get it. Like, that sucks. Like, I've been there, but no reason to like yell at people and be a dick. Marshall Sawyer's Super Chat, what's your opinion on Corsair Radiators versus Hardware Labs? I know they are just rebranded, but people keep telling me they're lower quality. It's hard to beat Hardware Labs. Like, Hardware Labs are basically they've always been looked at as like the best. Corsair Radiators, though, I've never had an issue with. The biggest problem that I have with them, this is getting really tight in here. It's wiring. The biggest problem that I have with them is that they only come in certain thicknesses. I actually don't know if they've recently like released any other thicknesses besides like their standard 25 mil or whatever. But that at least was my issue with them initially. It was that if you wanted something bigger, you couldn't get it. That may or may not still be the case, to be honest. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't have a problem with Corsair, but I think like if you take a survey of anybody who does water cooling seriously and ask them Corsair or Hardware Labs, it's not going to be a contest. All right. This is going pretty well. I don't know about this. So this is maybe one of the issues that we have with this design, is that this pump here does take away a little bit of the flexibility of the tubes up here. But a benefit of it is that it will keep them straight. So they're not kinked or overlapped or anything like that. They look like a nice swooping curve. So I think this will be fine. Come on, get up there. Can I use a TV as a monitor and connect it to the PC? I mean, it depends on the TV, but most modern TVs, yes. You're going to make some compromises, but yeah, for sure. Especially if like you want if you just want a game and like a big screen, for sure, go for it. All right, man, this is coming out good. Good job, Brian. Thanks. Steve won't be happy with what you're doing. Well, Steve can suck it. Hold on, wait. Steve, you could suck it. All right. I'm sure somebody's going to clip that and send it to him, and then we're going to be at war. At war. Just kidding. We actually have some really cool stuff planned for, I don't know the exact date. I don't know if we settled on an exact date, but yeah, some cool stuff coming up. This is a little bit tilted. See if I can straighten this a little bit. Little bit. Come on. Yeah, this is good. All right. Okay, so here it is. Check that out. So these cables are causing me problems. Yeah, that looks really good so far, I think. Pretty sure. Yes? No? What do you guys think? Okay. So, oh my god, it's a cable nightmare. I'm gonna have to decide if I really want to do cable management on this thing tonight or not. It depends how long this goes. I might just connect everything and make sure it works and figure it out later. This is something that I have been doing as of late in smaller cases. Is this going to come up without me? Oh, it will. Okay, good. Yeah. Is just getting rid of these just for more room to route here. Super chat from Dave. The pump is in the tube line and gets a constant feed of coolant. Be Quiet is known to fill their AO more than other brands bypass the Acetec patent. Okay, I'll take your word for that one. I didn't know about the filling it more than other brands, but I mean, Be Quiet is one of the reasons that I work with them so much is that they don't mess around when it comes to when it comes to quality. Like, they're really good. Like, even their budget cases are really good. The 500DX was a really good case. Yeah, a lot of stuff they come out with is just really, really over-engineered. And I definitely appreciate that about their products. All right, where are we here? So this, it's for the front. Do I have a way? This is the problem with all this spaghetti here. Where is? All right, give me a second here, guys. I gotta figure this out. Okay. Okay. I think I got it. I think I got it. So the whole point of this system that Fantex has is that it is daisy chainable. So I had to find the origin point of the daisy chain and then take it from there. Because there's one that connects to a controller on the top of the case. Like RGB controllers up there. So that way we can make sure that everything is in sync. Boom. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 PWM headers, right? So it should be two fans up front, 2 fans on top, 1 fan in the rear. That's 5 plus the pump is 6. So that is correct. Don't use the controller on the case. Use the motherboard 5-volt header. No, I will use the controller on the case. All right, so this is kind of a mess here. I'm gonna get a. Oh, check this out. This came in the box with the fans. This is a PWM splitter. Okay. So I should have 2 of these, which would mean that I only need 2 motherboard connections, if that is the case. And that makes me happy. So yeah, so we're not going to do crazy cable management on this one, as long as everything works. I'll work on the cable management another time. Is there another splitter? Should be another splitter. There it is. Got it. All right. You like this view more? The split view? Yeah, trying to mix it up. Try to do both. So now we just have the 2 PWM cables to connect to our motherboard. So that could go into, because so ASUS boards, even though this is very easily bypassed, ASUS boards, they'll yell at you if you don't have the CPU fan connected to something. You can disable it in the BIOS. but it's always annoying when you forget that, and then you go to boot for the first time, and you're all excited to get to boot for the first time, and then the PC's like, nah, bro, not gonna boot. This is a pain, and I wish that what am I saying? I wish that I had smaller hands. Am I using a Stream Deck? No, I'm actually just using hotkeys in OBS. When I stream at my my PC, when you see me at my in my office streaming, I'm using a Stream Deck. I use a Stream Deck for a lot of things. I use a Stream Deck for editing, like shortcuts, and hotkeys and stuff, macros. I use a Stream Deck for I have my hardware info you can display on a Stream Deck. So I have my CPU, GPU temperature and frequencies displayed, and I have lights. I have Elgato key light airs, so that's really convenient. All right, there we go. That is that is still a mess, is what that is. So why don't we get this power supply in here? And okay. So now that you have your EPS cables that have already been routed through that small hole, it's a lot easier to just grab them here, plug them into your modular power supply, and then slide the power supply into place. Right. So instead of having to worry about trying to snake your hands down next to the motherboard, or next to your top fans to plug in the EPS cables. Right. Power supply. This is one of those power supplies that needs power cable that I don't ever remember the name of. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. This guy. What's this called? Does anybody know? But yeah, you see the higher voltage power supply, higher wattage power supplies always use this instead of the regular power supply connector. But yeah, this is 1250 watts, so we should be pretty safe as far as quote unquote future-proofing ourselves. Matthew Lang, that is I like that. I like that name. I just know how to pronounce it now. I think you're correct, though. One more power supply screw. Where are you? There you are. Okay. What else do we need to connect here? So now what I'll do is some of these cables have to come down this cable channel, and the 24 pin has to go up it. So honestly, maybe I'll just, well, I think I want to manage these properly. Here we go. I want to manage these properly at some point. which honestly wouldn't even be all that hard. So maybe I could just stick them down here for now so that it doesn't look like completely awful. And you guys aren't like really mad at me. Look, when it comes to cable management, here's another secret. On my like weekly builds and whatnot, I don't cable manage them. There's just the turnaround time is just so fast. It's not worth it for me to do that. It spends way too much time for literally nothing because it's not even something that I show. All right, so got this coming out of here. Right. Mike spends so much time on cable management. Yeah, I know. Your systems always look really good. And to be honest, like my regular system is cable managed. Like I don't have anything against it. It's just that, you know, when I'm doing this kind of thing, it doesn't really, it's not worth it for me. Here we got a power switch, and see, these are even going to be really difficult to manage because they have to run diagonal because of the position of where they're plugged in here. I guess I could kind of squeeze them. Well, I can't even, I'm not even showing you guys. So the EPS cables here, I guess I could try to get them under here like a little bit, but they're still like curved here. It's not like I can neatly route them here and then across. They're just not long enough. So this also is something that I don't generally want to deal with on a weekly basis when I'm doing the builds for you guys. So what do we got here? So this is HD audio, which I'm not going to plug in. How many of you guys use front panel audio? That's a question. Because I never do. Quality of it is not great. And it's just one more cable to plug in. Okay, let's get this done. This in. Okay. Where is the? Oh, here it is. Here's the. Hold on. The USB 3.0 is facing that way on this motherboard. So that means that it's got to go like that. All right, good. Rob R, I use front panel often because my headphone cable is short. Well, that makes sense. I think honestly, if you can avoid it, I think it's better to. But there are certainly uses for it that I understand. Okay. Now, so here's a question. So the GPU has, well, you know what? Why don't we get the GPU on deck here. Here we go. Here's this bad boy. Boom. This is one sexy graphics card, to be honest with you. This thing is like, this is no joke. Nvidia was like, you know what, guys, we're not fucking around anymore. We're bringing the heat. This thing is awesome. But the biggest problem is this. This stupid thing. So considering that this is going to come off the GPU like this, do you think it would be better to have the PCIe cables coming from here or coming from here? Like the side up or the bottom up? The side across or the bottom up? What do you guys think? Let me know. For now, though, I should go back to split screen, and then we can get the slots ready. What do we got? The right, bottom up, the right, bottom up. Up, bottom, right, bottom, side. All right. You guys suck. You guys are not helping me at all. Oh, man. Okay. You know what I'll just have to do? I'll just have to put it in there and see how it looks. Put up a poll for it. Can I even do that here? Or I'd have to do like a straw poll or something. Okay. So we need... what do we need? This one... this one, this one. EVGA and other companies will have custom extensions. That's true, but I don't have any. So, unfortunately, for now, we're stuck using the that splitter thing. So, here's how it's gonna sit. Right? Wow, look at that. That is, whew, it looks so good. So I think maybe having it come from here. I don't know. Why don't I just plug this in? So if it came from down there, these would have to go like this, right? Or if it's coming from here, they'd have to kind of tilt. They'd have to kind of go on a angle. So I think the bottom is better if I just make them curve down like this. Right? I think that's probably better. All right, come on, let's get out of there. Let's not break ourselves. Thank you. The 3090 is so fat. It is really fat. It's really good looking too. Come on. Getting stuck on a stupid front panel wire. Well, Okay, so here it is. Coming out of the bottom here, and I'm going to try to like curve it up. All right, let's get this thing in here. So I tried to keep it as short as possible, but that's not going to work. Clearly, that's not going to work. It needs to be a little bit longer. All right, come on through the hole. Come on. Come on through the hole. I look forward to everything not working as soon as I plug it in. There we go. Okay. So this is what it looks like going down. I think that's good, right? It kind of like makes us like it's sort of symmetrical, like this kind of curving up this way and this kind of curving down this way. Doesn't that looks right? That looks kind of cool. I like that. What do you guys think? Let's screw this bad boy in. What is the point of that extra cable they provided? So if you're not familiar with NVIDIA's new 30 series Founders Edition cards, they don't use standard PCIe cables. They use proprietary 12-pin connectors. So they provide an adapter, a 12-pin connector split to 2 PCIe 8 pins. So that's what you have to use, unfortunately. Okay, all right. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I didn't really, cable manage the back. I just kind of like did a little bit over here where I kind of strapped it in. But the rest is kind of just hanging out there. Honestly, it doesn't look terrible, and it wouldn't take me long to just tidy this up a little bit. But for our purposes, I think this is fine. So let's pop the front panel on here. Is that right side up? Yep, I think so. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's cross all of our applicable body parts. All right, it's plugged in. Powered on. We have a light. There's a light over here. Ready? Woo! Got the front fans. Got the top fans. And there. Man, that looks really good. I really like that. what color we want to make it. Hold on, there we go. Just leave it like that for now. Oh, I messed it up. There we go. Just leave it like that for now. So, yeah, check that out. We are all done. What time is it? Wow, it's 9 o'clock. I've been doing this for 2 hours. Do we have a post? So I don't know. I don't have a monitor. Hold on. I can get a monitor. I don't know if it's posted or not. That would suck if it didn't post. Hold on. How about that? How about that? How cool is that? Give me 1 second. I'm going to, let me see if I can get a monitor and we can make sure this thing works. All right, I'm going to reset this. Boom, we have a post. Hold on. Boom. So, like I said, we installed a so the SSD that I used was it had Windows on it already, clearly. So it just booted right into Windows. Wow. Okay, that was great. So let's okay. You know what? Why we have this? Why don't we run Cinebench? Because I know that was what was asked for. So I know this is a really odd orientation for everything. Let's got to get a. Hold on. I thought I had. Nope. I got to get a keyboard and mouse. 1 second. So I just got a mouse. I think that should be sufficient, right, for our purposes. Yes, it works. trying to do this upside down. Hold on. Let me boot everything up. Let me get everything ready, and I'll show you guys. So I'm gonna have hardware info running while we do this. Okay. Okay, can you guys see that? I don't know how, like, if you could actually read it or not. I will tell you what it says. But, all right, let's let it rip. There it goes. So yeah, I don't have, this is with the memory at stock, so it's not even running at 3600. I didn't have a chance to go into the BIOS or do anything or adjust anything at all. So I don't even know if I have the AMD power plan installed. So I have no idea how this is going to come out. It might be a little bit lower than you would normally see. 9840, I think that's about right. What kind of temperatures are we getting? Wow. Okay. CPU hit 62C, and we got a 9840. Let me actually see. Hold on. Ryzen 5950X Cinebench R20. Cinebench single thread, multi-thread. 5950X is 10,409 according to Guru 3D. So yeah, so this we're right in line. What did I get? 9800, and that's with the memory not running at 3600. So yeah, that's awesome, and the temperature is really good too. Yeah, so I'm happy with this. This looks like it's going to be a really good performer. It cracks 10K with XMP set. Yeah, exactly, Mike. That's right. So, but yeah, I think we're right in line with where we need to be. And here, let you guys take one more look at it. Monitor out of the way. There we go. There's our system. What do you guys think? I am pretty excited about this. To be honest, you know, so I use a Threadripper system on a daily basis, and sometimes I am, I don't know, I feel like I want to use something like this instead because it's just, this is the latest thing. It's obviously super powerful, and it's just so cool the things you could do with a platform that has less power draw. The motherboards are more affordable. They're generally smaller too. You could build it in a small form factor system like this, and it's so powerful. So sometimes I kind of, you know, I kind of, sad is the wrong word, but I get a little, I don't know, I get a little FOMO not being able to use something like this on a daily basis. But we're gonna keep this together for now and do some more testing on it. We'll do all the the benchmarking and overclocking, and that video will be out on Sunday. So, whoops, that's the wrong view. Let me unplug this. We can stand this guy up. All right. There we go. So, yeah, this looks really good, and I'm really glad that you guys stuck around and hung out with me for this. It's awesome. It's really fun doing a stream like this, And maybe I'll do more of these if you guys enjoyed it. And, you know, if this is, I don't want to replace doing my regular builds with something like this, because this, you know, this takes a long time to do and set up. And I think having it in a more condensed format is better for most people. But every once in a while doing something like this is great. And I really enjoy interacting with you guys, and I don't know, like answering as many questions as I can. But obviously I am doing something else while I'm working. So Marcel Witzke, at the 3T try now. Why don't you use a why don't you use a riser cable to mount the great looking Founders card? So in this case, you do not want to do that. There's no, first of all, there's no vertical mount in this case. You can, you can make one, because you could replace the existing, there are PCIe riser setups that allow you to basically rotate the entire expansion bracket area and then mount it vertically. This case is too small for that. It would be too close to the glass. It wouldn't get proper airflow. This is the way to do it in a case like this. Mike, you don't gotta give me money, man. I should be giving you money. Thank you for modding. I know I told everybody to give you shit before, but everybody say thank you to Mike. Mike's got his own channel. He does some really cool stuff over there. It's called The Manic Geek. He does. He recently did like how to lube your switches and your keyboard. So he's also doing a lot of like ergonomic stuff, desk setup, chair reviews. Like, and obviously he also does PC hardware. So go check Mike out. But thank you very much, Mike, for modding. And yeah, thanks for that $5 though. I'll definitely spend that for sure. Currently Kent, $5 or $4.99. No comment. Thank you very much, Kent. I know you've been a viewer for a long time, and I appreciate you. Another $5 from Matthew Lang. Thanks for hanging out again. As mentioned in the previous stream, I enjoy seeing your build videos, but I'm glad we get to see you build live. Remix $5 again. Hey, my mods don't have to send me money, but thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. Say hi to Remix also, and you know, say thank you to him. Yeah, so I guess that's about it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And like I said, if you guys enjoyed this, leave a comment once this goes to VOD or something, and I'll definitely try to do it more if we can, because this was fun, and this system is a monster, and I'm kind of glad we got to do it like for this release. You know, 5950X seems like a hell of a chip. Yeah, so hold on. Pull something up here. Okay, so yeah, so that's it, guys, and I appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out on a Thursday. We will have a video on Sunday testing this system, so stay tuned for that and get subscribed and all that good stuff. Blah blah blah, and man, take care, everybody. Really appreciate you guys. See you next time.